welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming here with a different video than usual. So today we're not having a tea session, but rather I'm going to show you my entire loose leaf tea collection. So to accompany me during this time, I have brewed some fresh spearmint tea, and I also added some ice to it, which has now melted. So we're going to enjoy this as I'm going to show you my tea collection. So I'm going to start with my green tea. So these are the green teas that I currently have in my collection. So the first one is Sencha Seifu from Nakamura Tokichi, and this one I bought from Japan. So I ordered it in London and I got it shipped from Japan from the Nakamura Tokichi shop, which is in Kyoto, I believe, yes. And if I'm not mistaken, this is also the green tea that I used in my how to brew sencha video. So if you're interested into learning a little bit more about how to brew sencha, I'm going to have the video linked down in the description box, so you can go and have a look and check it out. And the leaves of this one are they're very dark green, and they're very small as well, which is kind of like characteristic of some Japanese green teas. Not all of them, but some of them, they tend to have this very like dark, very rich green color. And then the next green tea that I have is Guri Green, which is a green tea from Miyazaki, Japan. And this one, it's still unopened, so I still haven't gotten a chance to taste it, because I had other green teas that were open that I wanted to use up first before I start opening a new one. But this one I bought in London from a shop called Postcard Teas, which is in central London, and they have various teas from different regions. So they have Japanese teas, they have teas from Taiwan, China, and I believe South Asia as well. So yes, so I still haven't tasted it, but if you're interested to know more about this tea, please let me know, and I can make a video, or I can let you know what I thought about this. Oh, I can also make a first impressions video as well. I think that would be quite nice to make a first impressions tea tasting video. Okay, so these are my two Japanese teas that I currently have. And then the next one is a Chinese green tea. Now, this is the one and only Chinese green tea that I have tried. And if you know a thing or two about green teas, you will know that Chinese green teas and Japanese green teas are very different from each other. And I discovered this when I bought this. So when you look at the leaves, like as you can see, the leaves are very different from the Japanese one. So this particular one, again, there are also different variations of Chinese green teas, but this one is so the leaves are very big, and they're also very pale when you compare them to the Japanese one. And I was a bit shocked at first, because I didn't really think that the difference would be like so big, even in the taste. So Chinese green teas they tend to taste a little bit like more milder, and less green than Japanese green teas. And I think also if you're someone who's just starting getting into teas, and especially green teas, I think Chinese green tea can be a quite a good introduction to green tea, because they're not as strong as the Japanese ones. Personally, for my tastes, I prefer the Japanese green tea, but that's because generally I like stronger flavors in my teas. And that's also one of the reasons why whenever I have matcha or like hojicha, I never add any like sweetener or sugar or anything like that to it, because I really enjoy that like very like strong tea taste. And so that's something to keep in mind when you're starting to discover this wonderful world of tea. Okay, so now let's move away from green tea, and let's look at my hojicha collection. Now, I really love Japanese hojicha tea. And if you're not familiar, hojicha tea it's roasted green tea, but the way it's green tea, because it's roasted and because of the way that it's roasted, you can also enjoy it in the afternoon and not have that like caffeine, I guess, effect. So if you're someone like me who is a bit sensitive to caffeine, you can still have hojicha in the afternoon and maybe like early evening, and still be okay. You can still sleep at night. So the first hojicha that I'm going to show you, it's actually still unopened because I've recently got this, and this is the Cookie hojicha from Nakamura Tokichi as well. And Cookie hojicha means that this particular one has the stems as well as the leaves. So typically hojicha, typically in hojicha tea you would have the leaf, but this one also has the stem, which again just adds another layer of like flavor to the hojicha. So I'm excited to try this one when I get the chance. And then the second hojicha drink that I have is actually oolong hojicha, and this is the tea that I brew in the first video that I ever filmed, which is how to brew oolong hojicha. And this one I bought from my trip to Japan last year. So during that trip I went to visit a tea farm in Shizuoka, and the person who was doing the tour, who was very, very talented and super knowledgeable person, he also sold some teas that he sourced from his friends who also had tea farms in the region, and one of them was this oolong hojicha, and I thought it was a very, very unique type of tea. You don't really come across it very often, and I think you can watch the video into like how I brew it and what I think of it. But this is a very, very, again, like roasted flavor from the hojicha, but it also has these very like savory oolong notes to them. That is, it's very rich and umami filled. And then the last hojicha that I have to show you is the hojicha powder, And again, I also use this in my how to make hojicha latte video. So if you're interested to know more, please check it out. And this one I bought from a tea shop in Tokyo, but it comes from Uji region in Kyoto. Okay, so from hojicha, let's move on to white teas. Yes, so I only have one white tea, and this is actually the first and the only white tea that I have ever tried. And this is Silver Needle, and I purchased it from Mayleaf, which is a tea shop in Camden in London. And white tea, if you're not familiar with it, has a very different look than other types of teas. So the leaves, they're very like long and narrow, and they look like this. And if you look very closely, they also have very fine hairs to them. And when you're drinking it, it has a very like delicate and elegant, I think you would describe it, a very delicate and elegant taste to the tea. So now from white tea, let's move to the herbal / caffeine free teas that I have in my collection today. So I have quite a few because, like I've mentioned before, I'm sensitive to caffeine, so usually in the afternoon I prefer to have caffeine free and herbal blends. So I have quite a few in my collection. Where I put them. So these are all the teas that I have in my collection, and technically speaking, they're not teas because they don't come, like the leaf doesn't come from the tea plant. So I think the more correct term would be tisane or herbal blends. And I have 6 to share with you today. So the first one is actually my guilty pleasure. So I don't typically drink tea bag tea, but for some reason I really like this Korean buckwheat tea that I bought from the Korean shop. So this is just like standard tea bag tea that comes in a tea bag sachet. And I know that like tea bag teas aren't like the highest quality, but like I said, this is my guilty pleasure. I really like the taste of this one. And it has a very like savory roasted taste to it that's very like gentle on the stomach. And actually this is one of the few teas that I like to drink with food. So typically when I'm eating food, I like to stick to water. But sometimes if I'm having like rice or like Korean meal, or even like a bread, like sandwich or wrap style bread, I like to drink this tea with it. So yeah, I think this is very widely available in a lot of Korean tea shops. So that's my guilty pleasure tea. And then the other teas in my collection, they're all the loose leaf teas. So I have this very interesting tea. So this is olive leaf tea, and I also bought this from my trip to Japan last year. So I went to Naoshima, which is an island, and it's in an area in Japan which is called the Setouchi Inland Sea. And there they have olive trees. They're known for their olive trees. And this is tea that's made from the olive leaf, which is very interesting. I've never seen this before. And I only have a little bit left, so I'm almost out. So I've been like just slowly drinking it, trying to preserve it as much as I can. But it really tastes like olives. So it's recommended that you only steep this for around 30 seconds, because if you leave it for longer, it can be a bit too strong. Yeah, it's a very nice, savory olive tasting tea, which, yeah, if you're in Japan, or maybe you're somewhere else and you come across it, please give it a try. It's very nice, refreshing, and different type of tea. Okay, so next tea that I have is chrysanthemum tea. So chrysanthemum tea, then I also have dandelion leaf tea, and also organic spearmint tea. These teas are well known to help with like balance hormones in the body, and also help detoxify the body as well. Again, if you drink them in conjunction with like a balanced and healthy diet. But I find that whenever I drink these, like, my body feels really good, and like my body really reacts well to them. And I especially like drinking chrysanthemum tea in the evening, because it has a really nice calming effect on the body, similar to chamomile tea. But this is if you want something that's a little bit different from chamomile tea, but still has that very like calming, soothing notes, I would highly recommend you to try chrysanthemum tea. And also, I almost forgot my persimmon leaf tea. So I find that this is quite similar to chrysanthemum tea when it comes to like the very like calming and soothing benefits to it. Taste is a little bit different. So actually, persimmon leaf tea does taste like persimmons. Again, it's not as strong as when you're eating like a proper persimmon fruit, but when you're drinking it does have like that sort of delicate persimmon taste. And even the liquor, so the water, when you brew the leaves, turns into a very like light, delicate orange shade. So if you have not tried this before, I would highly recommend persimmon leaf tea. I think this is a very like Korean tea. At least I haven't seen it in like Japanese and Chinese loose leaf tea shops. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've seen it in a couple of Korean tea shops. So maybe this is a very like Korean thing. So my one I also bought from a Korean tea shop. So if you come across it, I would highly recommend. It's a very like different tea as well than your usual herbal teas. So now the last category is my other / unique specialty category. So I have 3. So this is more like my other category, where it didn't really fit into like the hojichas or the herbal teas or the white teas or the greens. So the first one is an interesting tea that, again, I still haven't tried, but it's a ripe pour tea, and this particular one is from Japan. and it's called Koji Plum from Mayleaf. So Pour Tea, they're mostly Chinese, but this particular one is from Japan, and it's not very common. And I've only tasted Pour Tea once, and it's Chinese Pour Tea, so I'm actually really excited to try this one, and I'm really intrigued by how this will taste like. Apparently it tastes like the koji, which is it's a Japanese like ingredient that you use in cooking, so I'm intrigued. Actually, maybe I can also do like a reaction, like tasting video. I think that would be quite nice. Just giving you my first impressions as I'm tasting this particular tea. I think that would be a fun video to make. So then the next thing that I have, it's Assam black tea, and this one, I don't actually drink this as like a loose leaf tea, but I use this to make Thai iced tea. So the Assam black is actually one of the ingredients that you need to make Thai iced tea, and I really enjoy drinking that in the summer. It's a very refreshing sweet tea drink to make. So if you would like me to make a tutorial on how to make it, please let me know, and I'll be very excited to make that video. And the last one is actually, it's my matcha. So I just finished this, but still I wanted to include this in the video because I thought it would be quite fitting as a Japanese tea lover to also include matcha in my video. So now, since I finished this will go into my finished tea box, and I'm going to purchase another one soon. So this particular one, it's Uraku matcha, and I bought it from Keiko Uchida, and she's a Japanese lady that sells tea. She has a shop in London, in Notting Hill, with very high quality loose leaf tea. By the way, none of the teas in this video have been sponsored. These are actually teas that I have bought myself and that I like, and that I also, you know, have bought in London. So if you're in London and you're looking to buy some loose leaf tea, I would actually recommend these particular ones that I'm sharing with you today. Again, this one I've never tasted, so I don't know, but the ones that I have tasted, I would recommend to you to try. Again, if you have similar taste buds to mine, because obviously like tea, like any other drink and also food, is very personal to the person who is drinking it. But this one, Uraku, is it's strong and full-bodied matcha. So if you like that type of matcha, you would like Uraku. And usually I would drink my matcha usucha style. So I really like to just taste my matcha. I don't even add like sweetener or add anything to it. Usually I like to drink it as usucha style. Sometimes I also like to have it as a latte. And this particular one, Uraku, works for both. So yeah, if you like really like slightly astringent but still like full-bodied green matchas, I think you would really like this one. And this concludes my tea collection. I hope you really enjoyed watching this video, and please let me know if you're interested in any of the teas that I've shared with you. If you want me to do a more in-depth video of how to brew some of these teas that I shared with you, please let me know. And if you have any other video ideas of some videos that I can make in the future, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below, or if you have some feedback or tips and tricks of how I can improve my videos, please let me know. I would be very, very, very happy and open to feedback. And I really hope that you have a good rest of your day wherever you are and whatever you are doing, and please keep on drinking nice tea. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.